In a previous episode of A Tactic Talk, we covered another MurphFM tactic. We're going to cover the demolition today. Let's check it out. So previously on the channel, we covered another 5-3-2 ultimate, which is a MurphFM tactic. We are doing yet another one called the MurphFM Demolition 4-3-3 today. Now, while the ultimate did not work all that well in our sim at least, we'll see what happens in our three Premier League teams in just a minute. But as you can see, this is, again, the MurphFM Demolition 4-3-3 is a custom style, attacking mentality, sweeper keeper in support, fullbacks on the left and right in attack, ball-playing defenders on both sides, DM in support, a center midfielder in attack, a box-to-box in support, two inside forwards in attack, and then an advanced forward in attack up front. In possession, attacking width is fairly narrow, overlap on the left and right, play out of defense, passing directness is standard, tempo is higher, final third is whip crosses, in transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the fullbacks and center backs, and then out of possession, you have high press line of engagement, a standard defensive line, and trigger press much more often. Now, how did it do with our three teams? Well, as you could see, better than the ultimate did. Newcastle sitting in 15th is an awful position for them to be in. 41 points, not great. However, Tottenham in 4th, Wolves in 6th. Wolves doing fairly well. Tottenham, again, it seems to be the way the league just kind of fluctuates every different tactic. Tottenham with 69 points, not all that phenomenal. Tottenham in 4th place, absolutely amazing. So Wolves with 66 is probably higher than I would expect them to do, but Newcastle with 41, absolutely dismal. Tottenham's schedule looks absolutely fantastic. 1-2 loss against Manchester City. Okay, I'll give you that. But a full run of points, not full points, but points, up until this Real Madrid Champions League away from home. Then Wolves 0-2. But still, Champions League, you got a couple of issues there. But EFL Cup, you're moving on. EFL Cup 4th round is where you lose out. Brentford 0-1. FA Cup, Champions League, you're continuing on. Wow, they've got everything. Quarterfinals, Champions League quarters, you're continuing on against Atletico. You lose out to Manchester City, 0-4 away from home, and then 1-1 draw at home. You do get to the FA Cup final, and you beat Manchester United, however. So, a cup run, you've done very well. I mean, an FA Cup victory, an FA Cup actual trophy is a fantastic result, especially for Tottenham, as we've seen. But Champions League semis, yeah, that's still a pretty good achievement right there. Wolves not having a bad run themselves. I mean, a loss in the Premier League against Liverpool, Aston Villa, Fulham, and Manchester City, and that's it the first half of the season. Second half, though, you got a lot more. The second half, they really needed something to happen, and it didn't. Leeds United FA Cup loss 2-3, and then Leicester City EFL Cup quarters 1-2. Yeah, but you just finish out the season in really bad form. Newcastle, that is not a good form at all. I mean, you got 4 wins, 5-6 in total of the first half of the season. And immediately out against Arsenal 1-2 in the EFL Cup 4th round. And FA Cup 5th round against Bristol City 0-2. I mean, just look at all that red. Tottenham transfers. You got Fernando from Antalyaspor, 1.3 million. Barbosa, Weston, we've seen those. And then pretty much the same outs as you would expect. Wolves, nothing new. Veloso and Escaio. And then Diego Costa out to for 900k up to 1 million. And then Hodenet to Boreham Wood for free. And Newcastle not really doing anything different. We've seen Donny van de Beek. We've seen Shakir, Farias. And then outs, you've got Gillespie to Crystal Palace for 475k. I think for Data Hub, I'm going to go back to this style where I do it individually. If you want the other style where it's side by side by side, just let me know in the comments and I'll change to whatever you want. But as you can see, Tottenham, shaky defensively, very good in attack. You've got a lot of great numbers in attack. Could have been a little bit better. Could have been a little more well-rounded, but this is pretty much what we've been seeing all the time. Defensively, you got some on or above. You really could use some better ones in some of the southern side and the western side, but Wolves, extremely shaky in defense, good in attack. As you can see, a lot of the same numbers. Passing percentage for the league is actually pretty high. So team defending really needed more along the lines of what Tottenham had, and you probably could have gotten a couple more points in there. Newcastle, only shaky defensively, but very good in attack. As you can see, some fantastic numbers. They just needed a couple more of them, more goals, more shots. It just didn't work out. Defensively, though, The tackles per game, attempted per game, you know, that's nice, but at the same time, if you're not covering anything else, it's still a problem. Stats wise, most goal Tottenham, Wolves, and Newcastle all in there from 70 to 81. So that's nice to see that they're in the top five, the top seven or so. Fewer shots against. Tottenham is the only one. Most possession, nobody. Dribbles, Newcastle. They did have Tottenham has fewest conceded and most shutouts. Most tackles won. Newcastle and Wolves, not too bad. Wolves to be somewhat expected. Best pass completion, no one. Most shots for all three teams with that very attacking, not too bad. Tottenham and Wolves, as you would expect. Overview, most goals, Isaac, Cunha, and Kane all in there, 19 all the way up to 36. Wow. Most assists, Sarabia with 17, Trippier with 13, and Kulusevski with 10. So a fantastic return right there. Most player of the match awards, Isaac with 10. Cunha and Kane also in the list. 4, that's average. Cunha with 9. It's a little higher than average. Pass completion, nobody. Dribbles made, St. Maximin. Fewest conceded, we do have 3 players in there, so that's pretty nice to see. Shutouts, Hugo Lloris. Most tackles won. St. Maximin is the only one in there. A little bit of a defensive work. Most key passes, though, Trippier, Sarabia. Most shots, Isaac, as you'd expect, with 213. Cunha up there, St. Maximin, Kane, and Almiron. So they're all just shooting like crazy. For Tottenham in all competitions, Harry Kane with 29 goals. At 4th place, I actually probably would have expected more, but 69 points, maybe not that much. 7.23 highest average rating. Kulusevski with 16 assists. And then Kane and Son with 5 player of the match awards apiece. 32 goals for Cunha. Absolutely a fantastic return for him. Cunha with 7.37 highest average rating. Sarabia with 20 assists. Cunha with 10 player of the match awards. This definitely worked very well for Wolves in terms of the numbers, at least. You hopefully, you taking control of the teams could pick up these numbers a little bit better and get 66 points up to 69 or 70, if not a little bit more. But still, 32 goals for Cunha is a fantastic result. Alexander Isaac, overall in all competitions for Newcastle, 39 goals. Absolutely a fantastic result right there. 7.48 average rating. 15 assists for Trippier is not too bad either. And Isaac with 12 player of the match awards. Fantastic return for Newcastle right there. Overall, unless you're Newcastle, this tactic worked like a charm. Tottenham in 4th, Wolves in 6th. Again, Tottenham at 69 points is nothing to write home about. It's pretty much average for them, or what you would expect. Wolves, though, in 6th place, 67 or 66 points is a fantastic return. Again, something to look at, something to figure out, maybe tweak a little as per your own players and see how they fit into it and all of that. But that is it for me. I am Sebastian FM for the Football Manager blog channel saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.